Go ahead, get comfortable. And I'm sure you came because you saw their title.
I'm hurt. Like the Chris bullshit.
Trust me, that's completely fine.
And you give us the courage.
But at least go ahead and give me a like and subscribe to my channel. Regardless of if you're here to laugh at me or cry with me, there's still room for you. This is my life. This is my journey. And I'm okay with sharing that. But if you are here for a laugh, go ahead and get it in now. Because I won't be in this position for long. I am the Evelyn Chanel. And this is Kicked Out Chronicles. The breaking before the rising. So it's the second day of my week vlog, and I actually have court this morning, and I just went outside to go heat up my car, and of course I have to use the bathroom now. How convenient is that? As you can see, I have the ponytail. Yeah, she's frizzy as always, but I'm about to put a scarf on until the time being. It starts at 10 and it's 9:10. And I was on, good timing until I felt the rumbly in my tumbly. And yeah. So just pray for me, y'all. Okay, so I'm dressed. And just got on some little loafers and these black stockings. But I got to be warm. And this perfume I put on. And I put on a watch. So let's go. Let's head out the door. Ooh, I'm scared. I'm nervous. It is 9:30. I was trying to be there early, but let's see how that go. Put on my little jacket. Oh, I look kind of cute. Okay, so I need to know where I'm going, so I'm just gonna check back in with y'all afterwards and explain to y'all what's going on. So I will get back with you guys later. So I am out of courts, and as you can see, I've been crying. But hold on, I got to find somewhere to park real quick because hold on, y'all. So anyway, to make a long story short, I am getting evicted, and if you think I'm lying, that's my name. That was my summer story. But to make a long story short, if you don't know, I'm not working. I ain't been working since October, really. I was having a lot of problems with my other job or whatever, and my birthday was on the 21st. Maybe a week later, I filled out this thing. If you know what rap era is, then I filled out their little application to get assistance from them for rent or whatever. So like I said, I finished filling out my side of everything, or what I thought was everything, on October 28th. And here, and it says application submitted 10/28/2021. So yeah, that's when I submitted my application. And honestly, I had the money to pay for November's rent. So I really, wasn't pressed about it then, because it did say that it could take from 4 to 6 weeks for everything to get processed, but it's been well over that now. So like I said, I filled out the application on October 28th, and for the longest time it was saying, it wasn't even saying process. I think it was just saying submitted or something like that. I think the first time I called the ramp people was maybe like December 1st, because I knew that I was gonna need the rent money for December or whatever like that. So I talked to them, and the same day I talked to them, they pretty much assigned me a processor, because at that point I didn't even know that I needed a processor, or that my application hadn't been looked at all. So after they assigned me the processor pretty much wanted some of the information that I had already turned in. She wanted that again. She was saying something about more updated copies or whatever. So I was able to get those into her, and yeah, once I did that, she was like, okay, well, it's gonna take a minute and all this other stuff. And so, I just been trying to ride it out or whatever like that. But of course, my apartment complex wasn't really having it. And the first person I talked to, she told me, she was like, well, yeah, once they, take their payment, or once they're supposed to remove the late fee charges and anything like that from my account, because they've come to some type of agreement with Ramp, supposedly, and then she said they've come to some type of agreement, and then they weren't supposed to evict me while the process was going on anyway. Of course, because it's not just because I apply for it doesn't mean it's guaranteed that I will be approved. But I guess during the duration, they agreed to not evict me or charge late fees to my account. So I just been holding out. But my apartment complex has been pretty much harassing me. And I get it to a certain extent, because it's just like, I would tell them, hey, I signed up, I put in an application for Ramp. Pretty much just like, I need a little time, and it's being processed. And then when my processor was like, it's been approved, I let them know that. And supposedly the office workers were putting notes on my account, and they were just like, well, go ahead and send in the proof that you did do that or whatever. And supposedly they were putting notes on my account. Supposedly they were informing, the office manager that I was, well, the first girl that I talked to, I don't even know the girl's name, but I know her voice when I hear her, because anyway, I think it's only like 2 black girls left up in there. And so she was saying that, I put a note on your account. When do you think you'll be able to pay? And of course, I tell them the same thing. Well, I'm not really sure, because I'm just waiting on the Ramp people that say I've been approved, And like I said, I insert the screenshot from my processor saying you have been approved. It's just pretty much, I've been approved by my processor. My processor has got all my information. She's gone through it, and she's pretty much put, her stamp saying, or whoever put their stamp saying that it has, it looks legit. But there has to like go through a second person just to make sure everything is correct. And so that's supposedly the process that is going through now. I'm trying to tell y'all this in chronological order. They finally assigned me a processor. The processor got my information back fairly quickly. I want to say by literally December 7th, December 6th, she was like, yes, everything is fine. By December 14th, she was like, you've been approved. It's just taking a minute. But during that whole time, I was pretty much, like I said, getting harassed. But I've been, if you don't know, well, you don't know because I haven't been posting like that, but I have been back and forth between my hometown and Oxford the last couple of weeks of the year and whatnot, and just back and forth. And so I would get like notifications from my camera saying that they've been, at my door. The week of Christmas, they actually opened my door and went inside my house while I wasn't there. First they knocked, and it's just crazy. Like yesterday, they knocked on my door, but by the time I got there, they were gone. And so at one point, they pretty much stopped calling, and they started sending maintenance men to come knock on my door. And it's just like, at this point, because up until this time, it's just like, I would hear, okay, well, as long as you either turn in your keys or you pay full rent by January 4th, then the eviction process will stop or whatever like this. So they would say that or whatever, and then the same little girl, she would say that, and I'd be like, okay, whatever. And she'd be like, okay, well, I'm leaving a note on your door. I'm going to leave a note on your account. But then I would get another call, and then the other girl, if I'm not mistaken, I'm not mistaken, her folks, we go to the same church. And so she was pretty much like, well, it was just like she had an attitude about it. And so, of course, if you give me an attitude, I'm going to give you an attitude back, because it's just like, there is nothing, I can't do nothing. If I'm telling you I'm waiting on this folks to send me this money, then either you gonna kick me out, or just why you, if I'm telling you the same thing, my answer is not gonna change, then why repeatedly continue to call me? And then we've been calling you since December 7th, and you haven't been responding, which is a lie, because if that was the case, then that just leads me to believe the girl that was telling me that we're gonna leave, I'll leave a note on your account, I'll leave a note on your account, you ain't been leaving on my account. But it's just like, you can't sit here and say, and then of course now, conveniently, I don't have my call out for where I have been calling, back and forth or whatever, and I don't even know how to retrieve that. But it is what it is at this point. It's just like, if I'm telling you I'm waiting on these people to send me the money, then what else do you want me to say at this point? Like, either you gonna kick me out, or leave me alone. Like, if you saying I got to January the 4th, then I got to January the 4th or whatever. So like I said, that whole process, pretty much the going back and forth, them sending folks to knock on my door, them calling they had finally stopped calling my phone, but they were still sending people to come knock on my door. And it's just like, at this point, I don't know what else you want from me. And then the last conversation I had with the girl, what's her name? She was like, she called, and I'm like, hello. She was like, well, we've been calling you since December 7th. And I was like, I've talked to multiple people. And it's crazy, because it's just like, I had to actually go up in there physically, because after the deer ran into my car, my actual mailbox key is still in my car, and I'm in a rental. If y'all should, or I don't know, child, I don't even know which order this video will come in, but I'm in a rental, so I didn't have my mailbox key. So I actually had to go up in there. Y'all saw my face, and I'm saying out loud to the girl that I originally talked to, and up in there too. And I'm just like, I done told y'all that I've applied for ramp, and I don't know when they're gonna give me the money. Like, either you can give me to January 4th, like you said, or tell me I got to get out today. So it's just like, the harassment has been stressful and stuff, and it's just like, at this point, I don't know what the you want me to do. So here we are, January 4th, and I had my court date today or whatever like that. And y'all, this is the most, when I say this is the most ghettoest I've ever been through. I don't know how my mama did it, but I applaud her. I ain't never had to go through no shit like this. I ain't never had to worry about being evicted and kicked out. And yeah, granted, I can go home. I can go home today if I want to. I can pack them and go home and be fine. But that's not what the I want to do. Like, I don't want to go home. I hate going home. The only reason I've been going home these past couple of months is to see my family. Because I ain't had nothing but time, because I ain't had no job since the end of October. So, as far as moving, I don't even want to be in Mississippi no more. Like, literally, my plan was to move this year. But, where you going? Like, you got eviction on your record. Like, ain't nobody going. So, like I said, today was a court date or whatever, and I went in there, and of course the judge was white. Everybody in there was white except for the like the typewriter person or whatever. The whatever the his name is was white. So he was like, the judge was like, he called, the listening grins, he called my name or whatever like that. And he was like, pretty much he was like, so do you owe it or whatever like that, basically, in so many words. Before you wouldn't even give me a chance to say anything, and he was like, do you owe it? Before I could even say yes or no, he was like, they'll talk to you outside in the hallway. And I'm like, what happened to you innocent until proven guilty? Like, I know Chanel, it didn't matter. I told I was like, do not cry, because these folks do not give a fuck about your story, about your tears. All they want is their money. They do not give a fuck. So do not go up in here and fucking cry. I tried to hold on as long as I could. They come out there, of course, in the hallway, and they're like, okay, so, what's the plan? And he started off with basically, he was like, well, if you don't have the money, then you have 3 days basically to leave or whatever like that. So they want me to pay last month and all late fees and this month's rent, or I got to get the fuck out. And that's like $2,000 something that I don't have. Like, and then I was just like, what? I was like, they keep telling me that y'all have come to some type of agreement that y'all would take away the late fees that have been accumulated since that time, and two, that y'all wouldn't kick me out in the first place. And then of course the office manager, she was like, well, she was like, rent is an independent contract and we are not allowed to sign any type of agreements and all this other stuff. But I'm gonna insert the clip where I talked to the people from yesterday, because I kept calling them like, hey, have y'all called over to my leasing office yet? Have y'all talked to them? Oh, just pretty much trying to at least assure them that, hey, you should get the money or whatever. And it's just like, these folks ain't did. But like I said, I'm gonna insert the clip of me talking to the lady yesterday, and yes, I recorded her, and yes, it was probably illegal, but they record you what is it for quality assurance or whatever the they say. So you got a record, then I got a record too. And so yeah. At this point, it is what it is. I already prayed about it, and pretty much just like, if I got to get kicked out, then just allow me to be okay. But I'm not okay, because it's still, because like, this, everybody want to go back to Columbus. Where am I supposed to go? I just want to be rich. I just want to be successful in my businesses, to be successful. But no, it's always something. Like I said, I filled this application out back in October. The end of October. Those folks was like, it should take 4 to 6 weeks. I not called waiting for them to look at my application for the first round. Like, I'm trying to be grateful because at least I had the opportunity to do it. But like I said, if you don't cry by yourself. These folks don't give about you. They don't give about your story. All they want is their money. So be about your money. Yeah, money don't bring you happiness. But hell, if you ain't got money, it's a lot you're not gonna be able to do. And I'm trying to be positive and all that other shit. Maybe I'll come back later and be more positive and be speaking life, but right now I am not. This is ghetto. I'm finna get off. I'm finna cut the camera off because I got to call these folks to see if I can get them on the phone and tell them what these folks done said. And my mom done called me, so I need to call her back, and I'll check back in with y'all later.